denyo what da dang dang. Hengo denyo ho what da dang dang. This is the voice of the Patriot. Where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. This is the voice of the Patriot. And of course here we are not neutral, and we have never claimed to be. We have taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. Without much ado, my brother, my sister, today we have a number of issues to look at in our daily editorial, dubbed The Voice of the Patriot. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from My Joy Online. And it says, Paul Adom-Otchere describes Akuffo Addo as the most impactful politician of Ghana's Fourth Republic. And I read, now, broadcast journalist and political commentator Paul Adom-Otchere has described former President Nana Addo Akuffo Addo as the most impactful politician of Ghana's Fourth Republic, citing his lifelong contributions to democracy, press freedom, and political mobilization. Now, speaking in a one-on-one interview on the AM show, Paul Adom-Otchere said that although President Akuffo Addo may have made mistakes during his tenure, his overall impact on Ghana's political evaluation remains unmatched. He may have made some mistakes, but after you look at it all, I call him the most impactful politician of the Fourth Republic. He said he was the politician who gave the biggest mobilization, fought the most for press freedom, and defended parliamentary processes at critical moments in our democratic history. Paul Adom-Otchere pointed to Akuffo Addo's early political career and advocacy for constitutionalism, including his opposition to attempts to alter the 1992 Constitution during his time as chair of Parliament's Subsidiary Legislation Committee. He also credited him with playing a major role in shaping Ghana's multi-party democracy and media landscape. According to him, Akuffo Addo's 2016 electoral victory, which saw him defeat the then President John Dramani Mahama by the largest margin in Ghana's Fourth Republic, cemented his place in political history. He still holds the record of having won the largest margin as an opposition candidate coming into the ballot. Mr. Adom-Otchere noted, adding that the former president's legacy will be remembered for both his political resilience and his contribution to democratic freedoms. Well, my brother, my sister, it hurts me when people like Paul Adom-Otchere speak like this. I don't know whether to go hot or hotter, because it can get cold. This is his opinion, and I respect his opinion, but I despise this opinion. My brother, my sister, when a man builds you a house and you go into the house with your children, jubilating and excited that you have found shelter at last, out of the jubilation, you get so exhausted and you fall asleep. The same man returns and sets the whole house on fire, burning you and your children and everything he has built for you down into ashes and cinders. Would you consider that same man the most impactful in your life? Should you have a voice after death? It hurts me. Nana Akufo-Addo is the worst president Ghana has ever had. And if being abysmal is impactful, then I stand to be corrected. My brother, my sister, Paul Adom-Otchere mentions, oh, he supported democracy. Oh, he supported the rule of law. Oh, he was in parliament to make sure that the 1992 constitution was untouched and unscratched. Today, we are struggling to change that constitution. And every Ghanaian wants it. Did he do good or bad? Again, my brother, my sister, Paul Adom-Otchere claims that this man is the most impactful politician in the Fourth Republic. My brother, my sister, I feel so sad. I don't know where to go, but I will still have to move. Watch this. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will not go down in history as the most impactful in the Fourth Republic, but the worst human being this country has ever produced. We still remember the cathedral. So much money sank into that hole that has become a safe haven for toads and frogs, maybe alligators too. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo would go down in history in our political algorithm as the most inefficient, the most impotent president this nation has ever had. We remember the DDEP. Under his very watchful eyes, we saw our senior citizens dwindle into poverty. People who had worked so hard in order to get to where they were. The senior citizens, a lot of them have visited early graves. Their souls will continue chasing this man into the world of cancer, the world of diseases. They will chase him all the way to the front gate of hell. I am sure if Paul Adom-Otchere's father was alive and he had suffered from the DDEP, his narrative, or better still, his son's narrative would have been different. We saw how voters were shot and killed in order for Nana Addo to become president. We saw how he exonerated criminals, alleged criminals. My brother, my sister, today, some of them are standing trial, and it's more than just obvious that the obvious is obvious. My brother, my sister, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will go down in history as the most exorbitant spending, the most unjudicious spending, the most unwise spender of our generation. Many people said that Champon was an unwise spender. If Achampon was truly an unwise spender, then Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is his great-grandfather. My brother, my sister, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo became the Mobutu Sese Seko of Ghana, spending money that he didn't have. At the end of the day, we had to fall on the mercy of the IMF and the World Bank. 3 billion Ghana cedis, and his own cousin from Chebi, Uforiata, was raking in money by the kind courtesy of his uncle being president and allowing wanton unwise borrowing. Is this the man you claim is the most impactful in the Fourth Republic? We saw the rise of vigilante in the days of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We saw his attempt to force the bitter pill of Ejapa and Ejapadie down our throats. And when it did not work, they changed it into SML, and they succeeded. Albeit, he had to be pushed to come back and cancel it after the harm had already been done. And people like Paul were seen to have also benefited from the SML thing. A reason the OSP is busily chasing all of them. Is this the most impactful in the Fourth Republic? Can somebody wake me up from this traumatic nightmare? In the days of Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo, we saw arrogance worse than the arrogance of Satan. How he commanded chiefs to stand up and greet him like the Prince of Peace had just entered Jerusalem. Therefore, all women must bring out their cloths and spread that on the street while he rode his donkey on those. Is this the most impactful politician of the Fourth Republic? In the days of Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo, we saw wanton corruption. We saw how the banks became useless and people now kept millions of Ghana cedis, millions of American dollars, millions of British pounds under their beds, such that maid servants could steal the money, and because of the magnitude of the heaps of money under the beds, they couldn't tell how much was stolen. In the days of Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo, we saw our educational system dwindle into thin air. Our students were fed raw gari. The soup that was given to them, in fact, was just like some paste. My brother, my sister, colorless, tasteless, odorless, with all apologies to water. My brother, my sister, we saw how, at the detriment of our students in the schools, some people fattened up from nothing to everything. They flew to Mecca night and day. They celebrated their birthdays in the air. They built mansions for themselves at airport hills and beyond. Today they are standing trial, locked up in Iyoko cells. Is Nana Akuffo not ashamed of this history? He himself is ashamed, but his praise singers, like Paul Adom-Otchere, unashamedly are still praising this little dwarf of an achievement. This little dwarf of an achievement. It hurts me. See how this man destroyed Ghana. Yet, a journalist that I respect so much comes to call him the most impactful in the Fourth Republic. Why? Are we also on tramadol? Have we been tramadolized? Or we are sniffing something whose name we can't mention on radio? I don't get it. My brother, my sister, for the first time in our history, unless I've forgotten the precedent, we saw how a vigilante group went to court, snatched an accused person from the claws of a judge and the magistrate in the full glare of armed policemen and soldiers, and fled, all in the name of the invisible forces, or is it invisible demons? Is this the most impactful guy in our whatever Fourth Republic? Please, when we are praise singing, let's be a little objective. When we are praise singing, because a little dwarf somewhere during the Gulliver's travels gave us an opportunity to steal from the people of Ghana, enrich ourselves in one way or the other. we should minimize the loud echoes and sounds of the drums. To all those people who suffered in the 8 years of arrogance, the 8 years of wanton corruption, the 8 years of disrespect for human lives in Galamsey and beyond, I want to apologize on behalf of our ancestors. As for the praise singers, I wanted to call something upon them, but I give them another chance. I leave it here. Now the next thing I want to look at is equally interesting, and I need you to come along. I'm reading this from Ghana Web, and it says, I wasn't in rags before becoming OSP. The job is rather making me poor. Kisie Jabing speaks from the office of the special prosecutor. And I read, now the special prosecutor Kisie Jabing has slammed individuals accusing him of incompetence and hence calling for President John Dramani Mahama to remove him from office. In an interview on a KSM show shared on social media on November 5, 2025, Kisie Jabing stated that the individuals calling for his dismissal are making a personal attack which has nothing to do with his work. Kisie Jabing further explained that he was recently accused of channeling his attention to fashion instead of focusing on his work. Now, according to him, he wasn't broke before assuming the office as a special prosecutor. I leave it here. Now, my brother, my sister, Kisie Jabing is in the office of the special prosecutor. He is the special prosecutor. In my opinion, he has been more daring and far better than Alamisi Amidu, the first special prosecutor. He was full of arrogance and he was a bully. Kisie Jabing has performed better. At least he gave us press conferences. At least he's been able to keep us abreast with a lot of the things that he's doing. At least he's been able to save us some amount of money as documented. Oh yes, he's exorbitant. Oh yes, he's fashionable. His wristwatch is as expensive as a 5-bedroom house right there inside Ashaiman. His shoes are so shiny you could see your face in there. Maybe as expensive as the cost of a 2-bedroom house right there inside Nima. Oh yes, he wears a 3-piece suit tailored and designed by world-class designers. He's a man of good taste. He's a man who loves fashion. My brother, my sister, I am sure if Kisie Jabing was to channel 20% of his love for fashion into his work as the special prosecutor, Ghana would not be where it is. Can I repeat it? Kisie Jabing is a man of fashion. He loves fashion. I'm sure this man goes to bed wearing a 3-piece suit. I am sure this man goes to bed wearing a wristwatch made of diamonds. But that is his taste, his personal taste. I have no problem with that. What I'm saying is, I am also sure that if he could channel 20% of his love for fashion into his work as special prosecutor, we will not be where we are today. We will be one of the most disciplined countries in the world. Have I said something stupid? If I have, tap me and wake me up from this stupid dream. My brother, my sister, Kissie Jabin says that the office of the special prosecutor is making him poorer than he used to be. This is a lie. It's a big fat lie. How much did your bulletproof car cost? Can you compare that to any car you ever drove from your infancy? I'm just asking questions. Your bulletproof car, how much does it cost? The kind of attention you have now, factor that in and put a price or some value on that, and tell me if you ever had that kind of attention. Being the special prosecutor opens a lot of doors for you. You get the opportunity to fly business class, opportunity to fly diplomatic, opportunity to access almost everything in this country by virtue of the fact that you have a golden master key. Don't lie to us, with all respect. It's so demeaning for Kissie Jabin to look at me in the face and tell me that an honorary position like that is making him worse off than when he was in private practice. No office in Ghana is supposed to make people worse off. It is so disrespectful to the nation. It is so dishonorable to the nation to have anybody elevated into an office that will rather make him poorer, unless you were a highway criminal, a highway thief, before you got into that position. That I agree with you. It's so demeaning and disrespectful. If I were Mahama, I would sack this guy immediately. This is not patriotic talk. Is it any patriotic talk? I am asking. You have been elevated to the office of the special prosecutor. A 44-year-old. The one who was there before you was 1 trillion years older than you. It is honorable for you to be in that position. I don't expect such childish remarks from you like this. Are you doing us a favor? Your budget is as huge as 1 million elephants put together. You still tell me that that position is making you poorer. How much are you legally earning as the special prosecutor? The private law firm that you have, is it still running? Why not? My brother, my sister, I think Kissie Jabin should be apologizing to the people of Ghana for this unnecessary infantile remark. I don't like this remark. I am a supporter of the OSP. I love the office of the special prosecutor. I am not one of those opposing that office. I love the office, but I want the office to work well. Kissie Jabin, in my personal opinion, is not doing badly. He could do better. We have seen people pulled from nowhere and they are going to be standing trial. If you always play the victim, the way Kissie Jabin is playing the spoiled child. I don't know his upbringing, but he appears to me like a spoiled child, a rotten child. Every little thing you want to complain. You want to tell us that you were better off before you came into the service of Ghana. That is an insult to us as a people of Ghana. My brother, my sister, if the kitchen is too hot, with all respect, get out.
Yabo!